Let's
So-
explain the numbers too, because
Certainly,
people
certainly.
need to know how fucking crazy it is here in Texas.
The estimate here in Texas is between 2 and 4 million.
So literally
bunch.
more than the entire population of Austin.
In hogs.
In hogs.
Spread out around the state.
43 heat signatures. That's what the drone pilot counted on his thermal monitor at 2 in the morning, sitting in a truck a quarter mile from a South Texas peanut field. 43 feral hogs, glowing white against the dark soil, tearing through a crop that a family had spent months growing. 18 minutes later, 47 hogs were down, and the drone above them never fired a single shot. It couldn't. Under Texas law, it's not allowed to. The footage of those 18 minutes was recorded for one reason: internal training on a private wildlife control contract. It was never supposed to leave the operator's hard drives, but it did. And when the clip hit hunting forums and comment sections, one question kept coming up over and over: is Texas now running drone strikes on wildlife? The short answer is no. The real answer, how a drone that can't carry a weapon removed an entire sounder in 18 minutes, and why that night may have changed what's possible on land like this, is what this video is about. Stay with me, because the number 47 isn't even the most surprising figure in this story. To understand why that drone was in the air at all, you need to understand what it was hunting, because the feral hog is not an ordinary pest. It is one of the most successful invasive species in North American history. Texas holds an estimated 2.6 million feral hogs, and biologists will tell you that number is conservative, because these animals are experts at staying invisible in thick brush and remote country. They are the descendants of escaped domestic swine and Eurasian wild boars introduced for sport a century ago, and their real weapon is math. A healthy sow can produce 2 litters in a single year, up to a dozen piglets each, and those piglets are breeding before their first birthday. Under good conditions, the statewide population grows 18 to 21% every year. Run that forward and researchers at Texas A&M project a population pushing well past 3 million within a few years. Every season of delay makes the problem bigger. The hogs are not waiting for anyone to figure this out, and the damage they do goes far beyond a ruined peanut field. On the Texas coast, hogs have learned to raid sea turtle nesting beaches, digging up and eating eggs that represent years of conservation work. In East Texas timber country, they girdle young pine saplings and compact the soil so badly that companies pay extra just to make the ground plantable again. On cattle ranches, they destroy winter pasture, tear down cross fences, and injure calves and dogs when a sounder gets surprised at close range. And around the edges of Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, homeowners wake up to backyards that look like they've been worked over by heavy machinery. One sounder, one night. Then there's the part most people never see. Feral hogs carry swine brucellosis, a disease that can jump to cattle herds, and, in rare cases, to the humans who handle infected animals. They carry pseudo-rabies, a constant threat hanging over the commercial swine industry. Every confirmed case traced back to wild pigs triggers testing, quarantines, and lost market access that ripples through entire counties. Add it all up: lost crops, degraded pasture, wrecked infrastructure, disease response, and the direct agricultural damage in Texas runs into the hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. Rural families aren't just losing money, they're watching generational land come apart one night at a time. So when 43 of these animals showed up on a thermal monitor over a peanut field, this wasn't sport, it was triage. But here's the problem. For decades, every tool available for this fight had the same fatal flaw. Corral traps baited with corn can remove a whole sounder when everything goes perfectly, but hogs are intelligent. The survivors learn the trap, teach the sounder to avoid it, or simply shift to the neighbor's property where the pressure is lighter. Night shooting with thermal scopes works on accessible land, but the pigs do their worst damage in the darkest hours, across millions of acres of private brush country no shooter can reach on foot. Helicopter culls work on the biggest ranches with the biggest budgets, expensive, weather-dependent, and every gap they leave gets refilled by the next sounder within weeks. That's the flaw. Every method was temporary. The removals were real, but the population curve never bent because the biology of the invader was simply faster than the reach of the human response. Ranchers weren't losing individual battles. They were losing the map. Then, in November 2022, the map changed, quietly, in a meeting room in Austin. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Commission approved an amendment to the state's aerial wildlife permit rules. In plain language, permitted operators could now fly drones equipped with thermal cameras at night for one purpose only: locating feral hogs for shooters on the ground. And the restrictions were just as important as the permission. No weapons on the drone, no dropping anything from the air, no other species, not deer, not coyotes, nothing. The drone is an eye in the sky. The trigger stays on the ground, in human hands, under a state permit. Supporters called it a long overdue adaptation to a problem that had outgrown every older tactic. Critics said it blurred the line between hunting and something that felt like remote warfare. Both sides were about to find out that the rule change was the easy part. Actually making it work in the field nearly broke the first crews who tried. A thermal drone system good enough to find hogs in thick cover costs between $5,000 and $15,000. The pilot needs an FAA commercial certification plus waivers for night flight, and none of that buys you the skill that matters most: keeping the aircraft high enough and quiet enough that 40 wild animals with excellent hearing never know it's there, while feeding live coordinates to a ground team moving through total darkness. Early operations kept ending the same way. A shift in the wind, a faint hum of rotors, and the entire sounder would simply evaporate into the brush before the shooters closed the distance. Weeks of work, gone in 10 seconds. And when a crew finally did succeed, the internet punished them for it. Edited clips of large culls started circulating, 20, 30 animals in one coordinated push, and the backlash was immediate. Animal welfare advocates asked whether the technology made killing too detached. Traditional hunters argued it destroyed fair chase. Landowners who were quietly getting results began to worry that one viral video would bring activists, or regulators, to their front gate. For a while, it looked like drone-assisted control would stay locked inside a handful of well-funded crews willing to absorb the cost and the criticism. The crews that survived that period did it by changing one thing: they stopped thinking like hunters and started thinking like analysts. Instead of reacting to single damage reports, they flew night after night and built movement maps for entire sounders, identifying the predictable corridors between water sources and feeding grounds. They learned the exact altitude and wind conditions where a drone could orbit undetected. They learned to read a thermal image not just for location, but for composition, counting sows against juveniles, judging whether a sounder was settled and feeding or already nervous. The work became less like a hunt and more like an intelligence operation, which brings us back to that peanut field. Because the leaked footage everyone has been arguing about came from exactly one of those matured operations, a working ranch outside Carrizo Springs in Dimmitt County. The clip opens with a wide thermal view from several hundred feet up. Scattered heat signatures slowly resolve into one dense cluster, more than 40 animals feeding near a low swale where rainwater collects. The pilot's voice stays flat and steady on the radio. They're bunched tight, 200 yards from your position, light wind out of the southeast, no sign they've made us. On the ground, 2 trucks worth of experienced shooters begin a slow advance, using every fold in the terrain. The drone holds its orbit, the gap closes in near silence. The first suppressed shot cracks. On the thermal feed, one bright shape drops instantly. A second follows within seconds. The remaining hogs mill in confusion, and this is the part that separates a trained crew from a lucky one. The shooters keep working with the same calm rhythm, target by target, guided from above the entire time, from first shot to last, 18 minutes. When the team walks the field with flashlights and confirms the count, the radio carries the final number: 47 hogs removed in a single push. The thermal count was conservative, just like the state's population estimates. The footage cuts to daylight. Before, deep rooting, destroyed rows, churned mud. After, intact crops, and the only tracks in the field belong to the removal team. As for how that footage escaped the hard drives, no one involved has ever publicly claimed responsibility, and the operation itself has stayed silent, which is exactly why the clip spread the way it did: raw, unexplained, and stripped of all context. The context is what you've just watched. Now, the most surprising figure in this story. The season after that operation, the ranch manager ran his numbers. Between avoided crop loss, canceled emergency replanting, and fence repairs that never had to happen, he calculated roughly $48,000 kept inside the operation in the first full year. One night, 18 minutes of shooting, $48,000. And that figure doesn't count what he called the real payoff. Walking his field at dawn and seeing rows still standing instead of churned mud. Word traveled quietly among neighboring landowners. Other crews studied the same leaked clip and corrected their own altitude discipline, radio protocols, and approach angles. And a pattern started to emerge across South Texas. Properties that combined drone-guided night work with strategic trapping, daytime hunting pressure, and habitat changes were reporting something the old single-method approach never achieved: sustained local reductions. In one cluster of cooperating ranches, hog-related losses dropped by roughly half within 2 years. Biologists monitoring the same ground documented the ripple effects: bobwhite quail coveys returning to cover that had been destroyed for years, stock tanks running clear instead of muddy, eroded slopes finally holding grass. Not overnight recovery, but measurable healing, the first anyone had seen in a long time. If you want the full, unfiltered picture of how these battles are actually being fought, the setbacks, the failures, and the nights when a new tool finally shifts the odds, subscribe and turn on notifications. There are more operations and more stories like this one developing across the state right now. Because in the end, the leaked footage forces a conversation most people would rather avoid. These animals exist in these numbers because of human decisions: escaped livestock, sport introductions, a century of underestimating how adaptable a pig really is. Now we're deploying increasingly sophisticated tools to contain the consequences of our own choices. That position isn't comfortable, but it's honest. So the real question was never about drones or thermal cameras or even Texas. It's this: if the destruction were happening on your land, in your community, every single night, where exactly would you draw the line on which legal tools should be on the table? The comments are open. I read every single one.